All right, imagine this. You've got a small spare room, a closet, or even just an unused corner in your house sitting there doing absolutely nothing. Now, what if that same space could be quietly making you money every single month by growing mushrooms? Yeah, actual mushrooms. And before you think this sounds complicated or weird, it's really not. Mushroom farming is one of those home businesses that looks tricky from the outside, but is surprisingly simple once you understand the basics. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to start mushroom farming in a small room at home, what it costs, how you set everything up step by step, where you sell, and how much you can realistically earn. Let's get into it. So let's talk about why mushroom farming makes so much sense as a home business right now. Mushrooms are one of the fastest growing food products in the market today. Restaurants want them, grocery stores stock them, health-conscious people cook with them daily, and the demand just keeps climbing because mushrooms are packed with nutrition, they're used in all kinds of cuisines, and more people are moving toward plant-based eating every year. Here's what makes this business especially interesting. Mushrooms grow incredibly fast compared to most crops. Some varieties, such as oyster mushrooms, are ready to harvest in just 3 to 4 weeks from setup. That means you're not waiting months to see results. You're turning around product quickly and generating income in a pretty short cycle. And the space requirement? Honestly, minimal. A small room, a garage corner, a basement, even a large cupboard. Mushrooms don't need sunlight, they don't need soil, and they don't need much maintenance once you have things set up properly. This is genuinely a business that students, homemakers, and working people can run on the side without it taking over their entire lives. If you're patient and follow the process, this works. Let me walk you through this the simple way. No confusing technical stuff, just practical steps. Step 1. Choose your mushroom variety. For beginners, oyster mushrooms are hands down the best starting point. They grow fast, they're forgiving for first-timers, they taste great, and they sell really well. Once you're comfortable, you can explore chianti or button mushrooms, but start with oyster. Keep it simple. Step 2. Get your substrate ready. Substrate is basically the material mushrooms grow on. It's their food source. For oyster mushrooms, straw or sawdust works perfectly. You can get wheat straw cheaply from agricultural suppliers. Chop or break it into smaller pieces, then pasteurize it by soaking in hot water, around 70 to 80 degrees Celsius for about an hour. This kills competing bacteria and gives your mushrooms a clean environment to grow in. Step 3. Inoculate with spawn. Mushroom spawn is basically the seed of mushrooms. It's the mycelium culture that kickstarts your growth. Mix your cooled, pasteurized substrate with the spawn in clean plastic bags. Fill the bags loosely, tie them off, and poke small holes in the sides for air exchange. These are your growing bags. Step 4. The incubation phase. Keep your bags in a clean, dark space at around 22 to 26 degrees Celsius for 2 to 3 weeks. During this time, the white mycelium will slowly spread through the substrate. You'll see the bag turning white and fluffy looking. That's a good sign. Don't disturb them too much during this phase. Step 5. Fruiting and harvesting. Once the bags are fully colonized, move them to your fruiting area. Increase humidity by misting with water 2 to 3 times a day. Keep the temperature slightly cooler now, around 18 to 22 degrees Celsius. Within 5 to 10 days, you'll see little mushroom pins popping out of the holes. Let them grow and harvest when the caps are fully open, but before they start curling upward. Twist and pull gently, and they come right out. Clean, simple, satisfying. Here's your complete list of what you need. Nothing fancy, all practical. Plastic growing bags, standard polypropylene bags used for mushroom cultivation. Buy in packs of 50 or 100. Substrate material, wheat straw or sawdust. Straw is cheaper and easier for beginners. Mushroom spawn, buy from a reliable local supplier or online. Make sure it's fresh and from a trusted source. A large pot or drum for pasteurizing your substrate with hot water. A thermometer to monitor both water temperature during pasteurization and room temperature during growth. A spray bottle or small garden mister for maintaining humidity during the fruiting stage. A plastic shelving unit to stack your growing bags neatly and save floor space. A small humidifier, optional but very helpful if your room tends to dry out quickly. A small fan for gentle airflow. Fresh air exchange is important for healthy mushroom growth. Packaging materials, paper bags, plastic punnets or small containers with labels for selling. For space, a room as small as 8 by 8 feet is genuinely enough to start a productive setup. Keep the room clean, away from direct sunlight, and make sure you can control temperature and humidity. A spare bathroom, a garden shed, or a clean storeroom, all of these work well. Let's break down the costs clearly and honestly. Starter investment: mushroom spawn, enough for 20 bags, $10 to $15. Wheat straw, 10 kilograms, $4 to $7. Plastic growing bags, a pack of 50, $5 to $8. Plastic shelving unit, basic, $20 to $30. Spray bottle, $2 to $3. Thermometer, $3 to $5. Packaging materials, 50 units, $8 to $12. Miscellaneous, tape, ties, and cleaning supplies, $5. Total minimum investment, roughly $57 to $85. If you want to add a small humidifier for better humidity control, that's another $15 to $25. A grow tent is another optional upgrade down the line, great for controlling the environment more precisely, but absolutely not needed when you're just starting out. Begin lean, learn the process, then reinvest your earnings into scaling up. That's the smart approach. Selling mushrooms is honestly one of the easier parts of this business if you approach it right. Local restaurants and hotels are your best first target. Fresh, locally grown oyster mushrooms are something chefs genuinely appreciate. Walk in with a fresh sample, introduce yourself, and offer a trial batch. If your product is clean and fresh, a lot of chefs will become regular weekly buyers. One good restaurant relationship can take a huge chunk of your production regularly. Grocery stores and vegetable shops are another solid option. Smaller independent stores are usually more open to buying from local growers compared to big supermarket chains. Go in, show your product, talk pricing, and build a relationship. Farmers markets and weekend food bazaars are fantastic for selling directly to end consumers. Neatly packaged mushrooms with a simple label explaining they're fresh and locally grown sell really well at these setups. Online and social media, post your growing process on Instagram or Facebook. People find mushroom growing genuinely fascinating to watch, and it builds trust in your product. Take clean photos of your harvests, share them in local food and cooking groups, and take orders through WhatsApp or direct message. It's simple and surprisingly effective. Let's talk realistic numbers here. No hype, just honest math. Fresh oyster mushrooms typically sell for $3 to $6 per 200 to 250 grams, depending on your local market. One properly managed growing bag produces around 300 to 500 grams of mushrooms over 2 to 3 flushes, meaning the same bag gives you multiple harvests before it's done. If you run 30 bags at a time in a small room setup, you could produce roughly 10 to 15 kilograms of fresh mushrooms per month. At an average selling price of $4 per 250 grams, that's around $160 to $240 per month from a small beginner setup. Scale up to 80 to 100 bags, and you're looking at $500 to $700 monthly. Your ongoing costs are mostly spawn, substrate, and packaging, all very low, so your profit margins are strong once you find your regular buyers. Here are 4 things that'll save you from the most common beginner frustrations. 1. Contamination is your biggest enemy. Always work clean. Wash your hands thoroughly, use clean tools, and pasteurize your substrate properly. One contaminated bag can spread to others if you're not careful. Keep things tidy from the start. 2. Don't skip the humidity. Mushrooms need moisture to fruit. If your room is too dry and you're not misting regularly, your pins will dry out and die before they develop properly. Stay consistent with your misting routine, twice or 3 times a day during fruiting. 3. Don't rush the incubation. People get impatient waiting for the mycelium to colonize the bags. Disturbing them too early or moving them too soon messes up the process. Let them sit, keep conditions right, and trust the timeline. 4. Start with a small batch first. Don't fill an entire room with 100 bags on your very first attempt. Start with 15 to 20 bags, go through the full process, learn what works in your specific space and climate, then scale confidently. And there you have it, a complete beginner's guide to starting a mushroom farming business in a small room at home. Low investment, fast-growing cycle, real demand, and strong profit margins. If you've been looking for a practical home business that you can genuinely start without spending a fortune, mushroom farming is one of the best options out there right now. If this video gave you value, please hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who are looking for real business ideas like this. And if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe because I put out honest, practical business content regularly that you can actually act on. Have questions about mushroom farming or want me to cover a specific variety in more detail? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. All right, go set up that room and get growing. See you in the next one.